Boom! Hey, Cryptonauts! Welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I am your host, Blockchain John, with your co-host, Jake Jabarelli. Hey, Jake, what is going on? Give me an update of what you've been doing.
Oh, you really don't want to know. I've kind of been a little bit under the weather, sticking out at home, trying to keep my nose clean, literally, um, and just watching the news and trying to keep up with crypto and everything that's been going on. And honestly, we got some pretty interesting news today, especially starting off
Hmm.
with Mr. Rogan and his
Oh yeah.
controversial topics that he's the new shock jock, right? He's the new Howard Stern,
Yep.
even though Howard Stern's not dead, but um, yeah, it's
Before we get to that, though, come on. We're in California, bro. We got the best weather going on right now. It's beautiful. I don't know if you went out to go touch grass today, but it was nice weather today.
I have a pool in front of my in front of my house, so yeah, I have at least been outside once today. It is beautiful. It is a little warm out. You're in the Bay Area, so it's not quite as warm where you are, but it can get pretty roasty out here. It hit 91 out here. I'm not saying that's bad, but
Nice.
I know some people who are up in like Colorado and Minnesota where it's snowing right now.
Mm,
It's such weird weather. So yeah, no, it's really beautiful. California's weather is great right now. I'm not
awesome.
disappointed.
Yep. All right,
So
Cryptonauts, let's head on over to our daily plug, which we have our coin tree here. You guys can check us out on YouTube. Hang out with us in Discord. I'm always there. You can chit chat with me there. You can definitely connect with us on Twitter. I've been very active recently on Twitter. I'm starting to like be an addict after the King Elon has taken over Twitter. Twitch is a new thing. We're getting more and more viewers every single time we start making these videos. So definitely join us on Twitch. And we definitely got approved on Odyssey. We're official on Odyssey. I'm going to show you guys our new page here. We don't have any followers yet. So if you can, please jump on over to the Odyssey channel and click that subscribe button and join us there on a decentralized platform. Finally, we're on it.
yeah.
And also a bunch of other connections there. You guys can. We got a bunch of referral links: Coinbase, Gemini, Cash App, Celsius. If you guys are looking for I guess an exchange to use, you guys can use one of our links, and of course we get a little kickback from that. Also, if you want to donate directly to us with crypto, we have a wallet here with Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, Raven, that, and a bunch of stablecoins. With that said, I think it's time for the news of the day.
Yay. Okay. So, I'm afraid to say I haven't really read all these news articles yet, but I will at least hit on the topical factors here. And in particular, we didn't mention this before, but we use CryptoPotato as our primary news source, although we do reference other news sources on occasion. But Joe Rogan, shock jock that he is, believes the U.S. government is afraid of Bitcoin. I don't think he's wrong, sadly. But I don't think that the U.S. government's afraid of Bitcoin for the same reasons that he seems to think. He says during his most recent podcast episode, Joe Rogan reiterated his support of Bitcoin, asserting that the current status of the asset is similar to that of the early internet. I think, this is his quote, of Bitcoin the same way I think of the early internet. It's the wild, wild west, is one way of putting it. He says, I have a lot of hope for cryptocurrencies. I really do. Don't know how much I don't know much about them, but Bitcoin and Ethereum seem to be the ones that people talk about the most. So I hate to put it in such a strange sense as to say that the man who's talking about this idea, which he's had Elon on the show, doesn't really know much about it, but I also get the feeling that Elon doesn't either. He's just promoting something he thinks is cool. And I don't have any problem with that. It just kind of feels like a crypto bro thing, and it's kind of weird, but I'm not personally a fan much of Rogan anyways. I would go so far as to say if he invited us to go on the show, I don't think I'd go. I'd send John.
What? Oh,
No,
come on. I
no.
would I would definitely go.
No, I'm sure you
What's
would,
up,
but
Joe? Hit me up, bro.
not interested. I
All
think
right.
so. Not. It's not. He's a hot topic guy. I mean, like I said, shock jock. He's all kinds. Everybody's listening to a show all the time. He's he's
I
got lots
I
of
feel
interesting
like
topics, but I'm not saying that I don't think of him as like a crypto guy. I just think of him as a person who's like, hey, that's a cool thing. I'm interested, but he's not
well,
like into
Joe
crypto.
Rogan. Joe Rogan was one of the first, I would say, celebrities that adopted a Bitcoin wallet. Was it his idea? I doubt it. I think a lot of his fans just kind of said, "Hey, you should have a wallet," and he just opened up a quick wallet and didn't really buy into Bitcoin, but. considering that he had a Bitcoin address. A lot of his supporters actually threw him some Bitcoin his way.
Hmm.
So he does have a nice little stack of Bitcoin. Now, did he buy it himself? No. Over the years, just people have been donating into his Bitcoin address, which is cool, man. I wish that can be us. Hopefully, we can be the a shadow of Rogan at least. To have fans come over and tip us. Please, please, we have a crypto wallet here on our corn tree. Tip us some coins if you don't mind,
I
at least for a drink or two.
I would go so far as to say, per the comments prior to the show, in the Twitch stream, that the U.S. government fears Bitcoin because it doesn't get to control it. So, I mean, and that's why, I mean, even though, we know that Putin's been using Bitcoin, but that's because it's a way to get around the sanctions. But the U.S. government doesn't like anything it can't control. Doesn't matter who's the president at the time. They don't like anything they can't control, and that includes even the rights that were written into the civil rights themselves. So it doesn't surprise me in the least. The thing is, I'm really looking forward to it. I know, John, you and I are both looking forward to the day when we stop judging Bitcoin by the U.S. dollar. When we finally say that
Absolutely.
one Bitcoin is equal to one Bitcoin.
Yeah. And I think that has a lot to do with I was watching a YouTube video, and what was it? It was like a live stream, and some guys were bashing one of the guys that was talking on stage, and they were saying, why would you spend your Bitcoin, man? This is insane. Why would you do such a thing? If you truly think Bitcoin's going to 100,000 or $1 million, why would you even dare spend your Bitcoin? Well, because for the past couple of years, he has been solely reliant on Bitcoin itself. He has no other currency or fiat to rely on other than Bitcoin. He is 100% in Bitcoin. So I think what it comes down to is that we as a crypto society, in order for that to become a reality, need to have that mindset as well and start relying solely on crypto to do our daily transactions, to be more like that guy, even though he was bashed for that. But in order for that to become the norm or the standard, we all need to start pursuing that instead of trading it into fiat. So that's where we're kind of stuck in at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, I completely agree. I just realized I kind of ran over your article. It's supposed to be your
That's
article, not my article. My bad. I
that's okay.
completely apologize because I was
That's
gonna.
okay.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I really am interested in getting this next article about blockchain Argo in the Texas site. But would you like to take it?
Sure. Okay, so this next article, let me just make sure I am on it. Okay, cool. So this next article is written by Shayanika Deka. Bitcoin miners Argo blockchain borrow $70 million to buy equipment for Texas site. Now, Cryptonauts, if you don't know, Texas is a hotspot for a lot of, I guess, what corporations that are building like ASIC miners, more or
Yep.
less.
Yep.
And these are not like just home miners. These are multi-million-dollar facilities,
Yes.
massive, massive
Yes.
facilities, miles upon miles of just roadway, of just this. It's unbelievable. I was watching another video I was watching was Riot Blockchain. They just came out with a video. One guy went on there. He was escorted around by the CEO, and they were having a nice interview about what Riot is doing. Now, if you guys don't know what Riot is one of those pioneers in blockchain technology, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. They only do Bitcoin and nothing else. Now, they do have clients that they have, I guess, loaning out some parts of their facility, and under what's the word? It's private. Their contract is private, so they can't really say what their
Right.
clients are mining.
Yep.
But they said that other than Bitcoin, there's a possibility that some of their clients are mining other things other than Bitcoin. But for Riot itself, the majority of the facility, they are mining strictly Bitcoin.
Yeah, they're the ones that are
Now,
building those 1.7 gigawatt power station there in Texas, outside Austin, I believe.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Now, regarding this, the $70 million dollar, this was a loan that was approved in April to July. And here's a quote. I'm going to read this quote here directly from CryptoPotato. This quote. This is from the chief executive of Argo, Peter Wall. Quote, we are delighted to secure this addition non-dilutive funding, which will enable us to continue fitting out phase one of our Helios site. NYDIG understands the financial requirements of large-scale Bitcoin miners, and we are excited to continue working with them to execute and deliver the next phase of Argo's growth. Now, this is really, really cool because Argo has been expanding in the past couple of years. And look here at the bottom, where is it at? Here at the bottom, too, they increased. they increased their revenue by almost 300%. Dude,
Yep.
that's insane.
Yep.
That is insane to think that a corporate business can increase 300% in a year.
Yep.
That's
You want to compare that to
crazy.
Facebook that's now currently fizzling out, right? You want to find something
Right.
that's actually going to produce more
Th-
money for you? It's pretty
This
glaringly obvious that crypto is the way to go.
exactly. This just tells you that crypto is the new frontier. 300%, bro.
Yep.
300%. They
Yep.
they got an extra $100 million off of that. Of course, they took a loan out for $70 million, but still, they're
Yeah,
going to
they
easily
knew
pay
they'd be
that
able to,
off.
yeah, they'd pay it back real quick. That's the one thing that I know
Yeah.
personal experience. And full disclaimer, I run my own farm. If people don't already know it, I'm quite aware of how much money can be made off of farming. And the neat thing about it, obviously, individuals don't necessarily have the cash, right? How do you come up with the
Hmm.
kind of money to do this kind of 70 million? I don't have
But,
$70 million, but
but
I am quite highly aware of how much money can be made because even though the market's down right now, well, it's up in the moment in the last 24, 48 hours, but it's been down for a while now. We're what 40,000 on Bitcoin where we were previously at 70,
mhm,
and
mhm.
so all the GPUs, especially with the release of Intel's GPUs that are coming out, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens with those, so we can see how we can use them to mine. I'm excited about that, but
Yeah.
it's a great time to buy GPU hardware if you have the cash
Hmm.
because it's super cheap and you know exactly how much money you can make off of it. So,
Question: what place would you recommend buying GPUs?
um,
Alibaba,
if you have a contact, yes.
eBay,
But eBay or Amazon, well, not even Amazon. eBay is probably the
Craigslist.
best place to do it. Newegg or eBay if you can. But if you're just buying individuals, just find some bro, just some person local to you on Craigslist or something who's trying to get rid of his rig because he wants to get out of ETH. You're going to find a better deal locally than you're going to find online. The problem with online is even though people are trying to shed their cards real quick, you don't know what you're getting. It's better to have
Yeah.
the product in hand. Now, if you're going to buy new, then yeah, I'd say go on Amazon or Newegg or something where you know you can get new hardware. But
Yeah.
if you're going to buy, $1 million worth, you should probably make a deal with a bigger company. So,
Back to this Argo a news article. So they actually their new facility is pretty damn cool. It's top of the line stuff. They're 126,000 square foot on West Texas, and the majority of it is powered by wind and solar energy.
mm-hmm.
That is the way to go, especially the way that the prices of fuel is going up. Forget about it. Forget about it. Electricity skyrocketing. Forget about it. You know, this is now they're basically trying to become independent with wind and solar. That's awesome. Just keep it going, you guys. Keep it going. This is a good way to go. I wonder, are they? They're on Nasdaq, right? Yeah, they are on Nasdaq.
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
I thought they were.
I gotta check that out after the episode. But yeah, let's head on over to the next news article.
Oh, I think you were going to do that one because I was going to do Dubai. So
Sure,
just continue on.
sure. All right. So the next news article is Andrew Thorvalis. The Fed announces 0.5% rate hike to fight inflation highest in 22 years. Now, this has been all over the news today, May 4th. If you guys have turned on the TV and watched the news or heard it on the radio, which I listen to talk radio and news radio on my commute to and from work, and that's the biggest thing. Hey, the Fed announced 0.5% rate hike, which is phenomenal. Because the original proposal or the speculation was that it was going to be a 3.5% rate hike, which was going to just destroy the economy.
Yeah.
And that's why recently, in the past few days or weeks, you guys, we have noticed that there has been a decline in price volatility. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
much, things have been going either stagnant or going in the negative. Now, if you guys are in the crypto space, you guys have been seeing it going to the negative. If you guys are in traditional stocks, you guys have been seeing it go into the negative. Now, the biggest reason was because the Fed was delaying their announcement of what they were going to do, and a lot of people were scared. Do I keep my money in stocks and trading? Do I keep it in crypto? Do I take it out and liquidity? And people didn't know what to do, so that's why you see that downturn. Now, here's the announcement. It's out today, 0.5%. This is it. This is official.
Yep.
So this technically shouldn't hurt that much in comparison to 3.5. Now
Right.
it's going to be a little ding, but it's what's said is that in order to fight against inflation, the Fed has to. It's inevitable. We have to put a slight rate hike back there. Now, is 0.5%. Jake, you've been around longer than I have on this planet. Is 0.5% a reasonable rate, or is it still too much?
I mean, I will say that when I was a little kid in the 80s, yeah, I'm dating myself right there. Um, the My parents got a loan for the house we bought in the early 80s for 12%. Can you imagine a mortgage for 12%? It sounds
Ouch.
insane, right?
Yeah.
The amount of money you'll pay over a 30-year time would be almost 3.5 times the price of the house. And they did. And in fact, my mom's still paying it off, and it's been more than 30 years. Um, so, yeah, a 0.5%, nothing. In fact, when I owned a house,
Yeah.
a little over 10 years ago, um, I think it was at 4.5%. And I know people who have houses right now who are at 2.5%, and they're not even on 15-year loans. So yeah, 0.5%, not much. It's helpful. Obviously, it'll help turn the economy around, decrease the interest rates, um, or the inflation rates per se. But it's not much. And the
Mhm.
thing that I think that people more like Warren Buffett are probably more concerned with is that rate is going to go up more in the short run. So we
Yeah,
get a half a
that's
percent rate hike, and then probably another 0.5%, and another half
like
percent. I would not be surprised if this president gives us a 1.5% total hike
yeah, over time. Yeah,
over time.
well, yeah. That was so the word that they used on the radio was the feds are trying to do the best to create a soft landing effect.
Yes.
Instead of just being catastrophic and
Yep.
crash landing,
Knocking it.
this
Yeah.
they're trying to make it a soft landing to try to not have it impact our daily lives too drastic.
Yeah. I mean,
Now
when
here,
the rates go up, you just buy more bonds, right? Because then now you can actually get more
yeah.
interest out of them.
Here's a quote from Jerome Powell. Quote, "We have both the tools we need and the resolve that it will take to restore price stability on behalf of American families and businesses."
Yeah.
That I, that's a quote I truly do not believe, especially coming out the mouth of Jerome Powell. I'm sorry, man. I don't believe the guy. I don't.
Well, I mean, just look further
But
down. It says Bitcoin appeared to react positively to the news, spiking from 38.7 to
well,
39.8.
yeah. So did the S and P's. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I was saying is that once once it was revealed what the hike was going to be at 0.5%, everything came to the positive. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, we don't have the stock market up right now, or we don't have CoinGecko up right now, but it is in the positive.
Mm-hmm.
Stocks are also in the positive. Everything's pretty much doing really good because a 0.5% hike, and that's the official rate in comparison to 3.5. A lot of people realized, oh, that's actually really good. That's not that bad. And people immediately invested back into the market, especially on a Wednesday. This is pretty good because it gives 2 days before the end of the trading week.
Yeah, the entire market is up 5.5% in the last 24 hours.
All right.
So on to the next news here. We're having to do with the other side of the world, in the Middle East, Dubai in particular. Felix Mullen tells us Dubai regulator will open offices in the Sandbox universe. Now, Sandbox
Metaverse.
is a metaverse. Yeah, not universe, the fake universe, otherwise known as the metaverse. At least Sandbox is metaverse. The Sandbox is a what? So it's still in the alpha version or the beta version of the game. It went on sale several months ago. I think what was it, December or November? Maybe it been September. I know it was last year when they first started opening it up to NFT purchase that people could get into it for. But this is kind of like, well, I mean, it's almost identical to um, Decentraland. Sandbox is just another example. It's just more of a game than it is just an interface to involve yourself in virtual reality. So the government of Dubai is not slowing down its efforts to promote the development of a local crypto industry, and it appeals to the crypto enthusiast. On the 3rd, that was yesterday, the Dubai Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, or VARA, announced the purchase of a piece of land in the Sandbox metaverse. And I guess, when you got as much money as Dubai has, you can do pretty much anything you want. A lot of money going around there from oil sales. Here's a quote: Dubai is creating a prototype decentralized regulatory model, inviting international thought leaders, global authorities, governance custodians, and international shapers to participate, exchange knowledge, and problem solve collectively so that we enable the dynamic virtual asset sector to build economic resilience, accelerate social inclusion, and address environmental stability, which, interestingly enough, as much as Dubai is kind of there in the middle of the sand in the desert, is something they're very much concerned about because they know that the oil they have underground is not going to last forever. So they want to, keep that on the in the future thought. And I don't have any problem with this. Any kind of development you can do, anything you can use to foster the idea of participation in another format. It's hard to ask since I can't see what's on Twitch, but if anybody has seen or liked the movie Ready Player One, then you're probably aware with the kind of ideal that Metaverse seems to be going for. I know I like that movie a lot. I thought it was pretty cool. Um, I hope it's not as bad as that, but I also hope it's as good as what can be possible. Everybody seems to be getting into the metaverse when now that Facebook has changed its name. But yeah, I'm grateful that Dubai is participating and getting into this because we need more money involved in the thing, and I think they just see it as the next great step. So
Mhm.
I'm not so sure about the sandbox. I guess the reason, like, let me just give an example as a contrast or an ideal. The thing that always bugged me about the sandbox and things like Mega Cryptopolis, which is another metaverse, is that it's only available to those who can afford it. And the thing, I know I've advertised this before. I don't even know if we have a plug for it, but I remember if we can get it. No, there is. Yeah, there's an what's it called, a link we can share. But I play Upland because Upland is the only thing I've ever seen that actually offers NFT purchasable land in a metaverse environment where anybody can get in, no matter how little money you have. You can literally start for free and get into properties immediately. Now, you can't get into a lot, but at least you're not priced out of the market. And that's the thing that really bugs me about the sandbox and other things like that. It's just the little guy, the person who has no money, the non-accredited investor, doesn't have a chance. But in Upland, they do. So that's the reason I like it.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I tried it as well, but you need a little bit of a little bit of money. You need to buy a little bit of coin there in order to really get moving into the
all
game.
right. So Detroit is the city that's open right now, and you can buy properties there for only 4,000 epics, and they give you 6,000 to start. So you can buy at least one property to start. And if you just flip it for like 6 to 7, it'll probably sell pretty quick. I know I bought 5 properties in Detroit for about 4K each, and they all sold for 7 really quickly. So that's one way
Nice.
of getting yourself off the ground. And that's what I said is you don't have to have a lot of money. I think the UpX, and I'm not trying to make this an UpX plug. I'm just trying to say that UpX makes it possible for the little guys to actually get a foothold, which is great. So let's talk about some senators in the U.S.
All right, so we're gonna head on over to the next news article here by Crypto Potato. This one is written by Felix Molin. Let's see. Senator Cynthia Loomis shares details of the crypto bill she has been working on. Now, I did read this article a little earlier, and it's to, I read the article, but I have not read the bill, and it's just kind of odd to me that Loomis is kind of pretending that she's doing something, but in reality is not really doing anything. Because this bill doesn't really do anything that hasn't already been done. So it's like, what's new about this bill? So let's see. Cynthia Loomis is a Republican from Wyoming. She was interviewed by Axios News Media, and here is a quote: "We've designed." Okay, so talking about the bill, we designed it so it works within the customary framework for managing and regulating traditional assets. So, for example, Bitcoin is a commodity. We know that. So it would fall under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. We know that. That's already been that's a thing, okay? So why is that going to be part of this new bill? It's already a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, for the purpose of trading and on the spot markets and the future markets. And then when something fits in the Howey test, that makes it a security. It would fall under the Securities Exchange Commission. We know that this is already a thing. So what's new about this? Okay, so the bill technically won't curb crypto innovation. I don't know that because I have not read the bill directly, but according to this news article or what she said, it's not going to make much of a difference in crypto. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if this bill all it's doing is just trying to collect more taxes on crypto.
Or,
You
or
know,
just read it. It's, yeah, the language of the bill is something like, "Oh, we're saying everything that's already true, so we can make it's like filling in with lorem ipsum." I don't know if you know what that is or not. It's the
yeah,
filler text when you're trying to write an article and just have filler text on it. It's like, this is all BS. You're just doing it to say that you did something.
right, exactly. That's why when I was reading this, I'm like, what did you do that's different? There's nothing cool. There's nothing innovative about this bill. You're just literally copying and pasting what's already been done. It's
Hmm.
what's new about this? So why are you wasting air? Anyways, here's something that is actually not that's not going to be on the bill is NFTs. And NFTs are not yet identified of what they're going to be, which would surprise me if they're going to be some type of asset, and that's where they're going to be categorized as assets, most likely under the SEC.
Yeah.
That's my opinion, just from the way things have been going with NFTs. The cool thing about Ravencoin, if you guys haven't checked out Ravencoin, is that they've already have the structure built into the UTXO of Ravencoin, where you guys can create your assets directly from there, and it's all regulated within the blockchain, the direct layer one blockchain. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's already on the core protocol level. So when you're creating your assets or your NFTs, you don't need to worry about smart contracts or any BS. All right, and that's pretty much it. This was
Well,
more of a disappointment than anything.
yeah. Yeah, it's she's just kind of blowing her horn like, "Hey, pay attention to me, pay attention to me." Like,
Yeah,
great, do something.
yeah.
All right, finally, something about Argentina here. Two Argentinian banks to reportedly launch crypto trading services. Hey, more people getting into it. Awesome. This is from Jordan Linechev, the article on Crypto Potato. Basically, it's just another South American country joining the fray of the fun with Bitcoin, but in order to allow people to trade crypto within their fiat currency that they have, and it's it's not a. I mean, I'm not disappointed, but what they say here is that two entities have partnered with the crypto wallet Lyrium for the new service, which will reportedly be available on Monday. Um, the youth group is asked this for the most. Of course, it's the young people of the world who seem to be the most into crypto, unsurprisingly, although I wouldn't consider myself one of the, quote, young people of the world. I'm not as old as Biden or Trump, but I mean, they're both old enough to be my parents. But
Let me stop you there real quick, if you don't mind. I
yeah,
want to ask you, have you met like teenagers or young adults in real life that are into crypto? I'm talking
yes,
about
yes. In fact, the reason I say this is
early.
because the people who got me into crypto were, well, they were at the time teenagers. Um, and that was, of course, 10 years ago, so they're in their 20s now. But
Ah,
yeah, I know it's weird to say it that way, but one of my Sunday school students, when I was a teacher over a decade ago, got me into Bitcoin because he was mining it on his computer in 2010. So yes, I do know. Well, like I said, he's not a teenager anymore, but yeah, there was a teenager who got me into it, and I was in my what early 30s at the time. So
here's a message from 87. He says, "Age doesn't dictate intelligence." Very
right.
well said.
No, I mean you can be wise beyond your years. That's the reason IQs are higher. So if a person can perceive the good of the reality that's going on currently, absolutely. I think the thing that's most disturbing to me is that people of my own generation, although there are certainly a lot of people who are very wealthy, they're in the 40s age group, which is where I am. It still bothers me the number of people who just don't care and don't know and don't want to know. So I think for me, crypto is almost like a religion in a sense. Is if you don't get it, you just don't get it, and it's not because it's impossible to get, but because it is a it is you need a future sight, and if you don't have a future sight, you're just not going to see it. So I don't mean to put anyone down by that, but some people you just can't convince them. As much as I've tried and tried and tried and tried, and so has John.
Hey, you know what? I forgot to mention the quote of the day.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. We forgot at
Let
the
me
beginning. Yeah. And
let
the
me
job of
find
the
that real
day.
quick. The job of the day. That's right. Let me find the quote of the day really quick. I apologize. We're working on a new format here. Oh, what did I do?
Ah, where'd you go, dude? Don't leave me. Okay, good.
Whoops. Whoops.
Wrong
Wrong
button.
button. Okay, let's see. Let's go with the quote of the day here, podcast episodes. Okay, quote of the day for episode 401. Cryptocurrencies are vastly distinguished from any fiat currency because, unlike the centrally controlled fiat currencies, you cannot be canceled or denied the ability to make transactions anywhere, anytime, without the interference of any other third party agencies.
Right.
Boom.
Yep.
Nice. That's by Owali Daniel.
What's the crypto job of the day?
Job of the day. Now let's head on up. Now, if you guys don't know, you guys can join us in the Discord. We got a bunch of things on there. We got memes. We got crypto NFTs. We have a bunch of crypto news if you want the latest. And we got a crypto careers channel here. Now we're gonna head over to the newest one down at the bottom. It's called. Open up the link here, and let's see. This was a director.
Marketing.
Exit this out. Director of marketing for Taffy. This is Salt Lake City, Utah. Let's see. This is a mid-level. They're looking for mid-level experience. Why we exist at Taffy and Daz 3D. We build tools to help humans and brands express themselves through stylized and uber creative assets for the digital world. About Taffy and Daz 3D. Daz 3D empowers 3D artists and designers with free, comprehensive software suite and a massive 3D marketplace with over 5 million intercompatible assets for DAS Studios and other 3D applications. DAS 3D and Taffy have entered the NFT space with many collections releasing throughout the year. Leveraging DAS technology, Taffy's mission is to make personalized avatars, NFTs, and branded digital content available to everyone who wants to level up their digital personality. Partnering with mobile phone platforms and software applications, Taffy puts its world class avatar content engine at our customers' fingertips. All right. Now let's see what they are looking for. Let's see. You bring to Dazi 3D and Taffy. They're looking for someone that has 4 years of marketing leadership experience, B2B marketing experience with one or more of the following product services offering: creative services, creative agencies, developer focused enterprise, blockchain, crypto, and or NFTs. Excellent organizational skills with the ability to prioritize important projects. There it is.
Yep.
And if you have any bonus skills like experience working in the startup culture or participate in the NFT ecosystem, yeah, that's a big plus.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're going to be working for this company making NFTs, you kind of already have to know the ins and outs of NFTs, be
Exactly.
comfortable with them. So,
All
yeah,
right. Well.
and if you want to do it in an affordable way, I'm going to recommend Ravencoin once again. It's just going to cost you, as of right now, what's like 40, like 50 cents at the most. 50 cents to make your NFT.
Mm-hmm.
Not that bad.
Nope. All right. Well,
All right.
that wraps up everything. We're a little over time, but that's fine. And we still got people tagging along in Twitch. We appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Our show format is trying to get a little bit shorter. But let's
Good.
just wrap
Close
this
this out.
up. So I will say, as we often say when we're departing the show, stack sats and hodl. Adios.